The Joe Rogan Experience.
Do you think Cosby will tour again?
No, I think that's done.
It's over?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I remember when he was touring.
There's a lot of
while the
promoters
allegations.
Would not, I think think it's not worth the trouble.
Really?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think Louis will tour again.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll take like a year off.
Yeah.
And then he'll do some shows and people get mad.
And then it'd be, yeah. And then, like, if, you know, the real thing is, like, the corporate side of it. Like, in other words, channel or network that would want to, let's say, show the special. But he has such a dedicated, no one's website following is like what he ended up developing. Like, he's sold shows and made millions, you know, when people were doing the, like, download my special thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think he could book a venue, shoot something, and go back to his $5 model and do really well.
No, I'm sure he could. And people would be really interested to see it.
Of course.
But I think Netflix would have him on. They still have his old stuff. I watched
Maybe.
his old stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
I was on a flight right after all of it went down. I watched the special from DC, which I thought was really interesting to watch it knowing.
The DC one? What's that? Is that the latest one?
The latest one.
Oh, okay.
2017.
Uh-huh.
But just to know that it was like right around the corner that he was going to get busted.
Yeah.
Beaten off in front of people. It's a weird thing to get caught doing, too.
Yeah.
It's like out of all the things that people have done that they got caught doing, all the rape accusations and all the horrible shit, like his is the most pathetic and also kind of the most innocuous.
Yeah.
It's just humiliating, just beating off in front of people.
I know. It's like his kink. It's what he likes.
But it could be way worse, you know, like what he actually did. I'm not saying it's a good thing to do to people.
No, it's
hey,
not.
watch me beat off.
Yeah.
But I know a bunch of people he did it to apparently laughed. There's quite a few comics that I've talked to that know people that he did it to.
Yeah, I knew somebody that did too. Yeah.
And what'd she think?
Not happy. But, like, you know, I don't know, man. It was like
it's weird.
I knew it for a long time, that story.
Yeah.
And I mean, I said it before. I was like, I mean, I knew it, and then, like, every other person I talked to in comedy knew it. And we were all like, that's fucked up. But also, I mean, this doesn't excuse it at all either. But there is something about something, at least, that, as you know, that's something somebody did a while ago.
Yeah.
So it's like, what am I supposed to do? Bring this shit up to him?
Right.
You know, like.
How do you know? But the other thing is, how do you even know that they did it? Because one of the things that happened during the whole, like, did he do it or did he not do it thing before it came out was someone had told me that it was bullshit and that what he had done is take some pictures with female comedians with his dick out just being silly and stupid and like and then tell him, please delete those pictures. We're just having fun. You know, I don't want to get in trouble.
I mean, the story I heard was very specific.
Yeah.
And like, you know, is basically one of the stories reported in the Times. And I was like, I remember hearing that story and the person was not, you know, was pretty upset about it. And then a lot of people heard the story.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, you know, another year would go by and 2 years and 3 years. And you're like, okay, I mean, that's bad. But like, as far as my role in it, you know, like as somebody who knows the story now, it was just one of those things where you'd be like, yeah, that's a fucked up story, you know? I mean, it's not someone that like, hey, you know, that guy, he fucking punched someone 15 years ago. He's a real asshole. And you're like, that sucks, you know?
But 15 years ago is a long time, right?
I mean, kind of. It's like, is there, it's not to like minimize the wrongdoing, but like, isn't there some part of the conversation about how people mature and become different people as they get older? I'm sure a lot of people that are in their 50s and 60s, you go like, you know, who are not celebrities, you'd be like, do you know that when this guy was 26, he did this fucking horrible, stupid thing or something? You're like, Jesus. But you're like, well, you know, that's a long time ago now. I mean, that was kind of, at least that part of the conversation exists in this, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it's something really bad. I mean, he's being punished. So we're not saying that it definitely has not been excused because he's being punished, but it's also old behavior.
Yeah. Like that's the Dustin Hoffman thing. You know, Dustin Hoffman, this is where it gets really strange. A lot of his stuff was 30 years ago.
Right.
It's like 1985 and shit. It's like so.
I think part of the difference too between the Hoffman stuff and Louis and maybe everybody else is Louis's admission.
Right.
That's very different because even like the stuff I heard with Hoffman, he's definitely trying to justify versions and the behavior, and like that's what people did, you know.
Is that what he said?
Oh yeah, he's like, you know, on the set, like you try to like get, you know, you have to break the tension, or there's a monotony to it, and so people would have these conversations and say, so it's like he's trying to. It appears that he's trying to be less accountable for what he said.
Yeah.
Whereas Louis was like, these stories are true.
Right.
So I think all those things end up affecting how your redemption goes, because they're like, somebody's like, I did this shit, I was wrong.
Right.
And I think in this country, people love punishment. Like, are you punished for the thing you did? We hate like somebody getting away with something, right? So part of him, I think, coming back will also be that people realize that he paid a price.
Right.
I mean, he lost deals, he lost shows, lost money.
Right.
Definitely lost a lot of fucking touring money.
Yeah.
I mean, that day is probably at least a $50 million day for him, you know, with everything together. So
isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I mean, what a weird kink.
Jerk off in front of people, yeah. I wonder how you develop it. I mean, I guess I can imagine how you develop it. But.
Do you think that you could even do that? Like, I was trying to think, could I even ask, hey, do you mind if I jerk off in front of you? And then just get hard and actually, like...
Well, that's the thing. I imagine he had to be leaking right, like, before that. Like, to come that fast, it had to be something he's thinking about, like, all day, you know, and, like, hanging out. And then, like, hey, do you want to hang out? Like, do you want to come back or whatever? Can I come up? And, like, so as he's getting closer to doing it, I'm sure it's the only fuel that's on his mind, you know? So it's
Wow.
like, so like to ask me that, I'd be like, well, that's not my kink. So you're like, hey, could you go from fully flaccid to come in front of these people? I'd be like, I don't think so, man. I don't think I could do that. No.
Kinks are fucking weird, man.
No.
Kinks are weird.